So gardening is a great metaphor, but it is so much more than a metaphor. That's one of the things that I learned about gardening was that it is, I remember when I first got into it, I recognized that there were all these things about it that spoke to my heart. Like, for example, a lot of times you're literally kneeling, you're in a worshipful posture while you're doing it. You're in contact with creation. You're paying more attention to rain and the way the seasons work, which awakens your dependence. You realize how much you need God. So there's all these like applications, and I think that sometimes, I don't know, when I was growing up, a lot of times we read the Bible mainly for application. So you'd read these crazy Old Testament stories and, sometimes the Sunday school teacher would point out, well, this means this. And so the metaphor tends to take precedence over the fact that a whole ocean split and the Israelites escaped the Egyptians by literally walking through the water. So I think that it's so important to kind of like go, yes, there's things we can learn from it, but don't miss the fact that these things are happening in the real world that you're actually living in. For example, there's that one of the ways we grow is through suffering. The New Testament, there's a whole lot of talk about suffering in the New Testament. I don't think I really understood that until I was pruning my grapevines and realizing that the process of pruning grapevines is violent. And it's hard to believe while you're doing it that this is actually good for the plant. But then, I learned this from watching YouTube videos on how to prune grapevines, is that if you want good fruit, you've got to take your shears to it and cut that thing back. And so it changes the way I read the verse about Jesus talking about, pruning back things in order so that you can bear fruit. So it's like, yes, these things have this meaning, but also grapes are delicious, right? And getting your hand, touching the world in these bodies that he's given us, that's more than metaphor. The cool thing about it to me is that they rhyme. So you've got this metaphor that is totally delightful, and at the same time you've got this world that God made that is also delightful. And it's important to not let it just be like academic. We're not just learning this and assenting to it. It's so important to actually lean in. At the end of the day, realize that there's dirt under your fingernails, and realize that you've engaged with the given world.